Warm greetings from the high 10. It is Everyday Shenanigans, and thanks for joining me. I had spoke to you guys a day ago about The Night Listener. It stars Robin Williams and Toni Collette. She is a fine actress, Toni Collette. I discovered her probably in the mid 2000s. I like some of the movies I've seen her in. She's a fine actress. And of course, Robin Williams, who is the star of the film A Night Listener, is a very interesting movie. And I brought you all this information due to the things that have taken place with my channel and things that have gone on with social media and how people can pretend to be something that they are not, pretend to be people that they are not. And that is the reason why I brought you this movie for you to watch, because I think that some of you need to watch this movie, because I think that some of you are perhaps the character of Toni Collette. You have gotten lost somewhere in the world of wanting to be something that you're not, pretending to be something that you're not for various reasons, mostly sinister reasons. And as I state, infiltrating the chats and different things, pretending to be someone you're not, jumping on platforms and in the chat and commenting and chasing people through social media accounts such as IG and Facebook, and stalking people and saying vile things to them when you don't have the right to do that. So this is why I brought this movie to you all, to show you that you don't know people, and a person can be whomever he wants to be. MySpace came out in 2003. Facebook came out in 2004. And on these platforms, you could upload said information about yourself, and as I state, be whomever you want to be. You can upload a photo today of a human being, of a tree, a cat, a dog, and make a fake profile. And have people follow you thinking you are that said person. Same thing with other social media platforms, date sites. Upload a photo pretending to be that man or woman, but all in all, you're not that said person. And people can message you thinking you are that said person and chat with you, assuming that the things that you've said in the said profile, commentary, that you are that said person. But indeed, you are not that person. And I bring this to you as a cautionary tale that there are a lot of sick people out here who are lonely and sinister and vile in behavior and nature, and they are out here to do nothing but harm you, cause chaos and ruckus. And I've seen that in the short month of being on YouTube. Gabriel Noon, a writer and host of a late night radio show, begins a phone correspondence with Pete, Rory Culkin, a teen who claims to have survived a nightmarish childhood. Though he becomes close to the youth and his mother, Toni Collette, Gabriel must begin a harrowing search for the truth when questions about Pete's real identity begin to surface. This said movie is The Night Listener. And I'd like you to check this said movie out, because, you see, as I state, you can be whomever you want to be. And in this said movie, Robin Williams plays a radio host who befriends a young man through a commentary on the radio program. And the young man, calls in to give his harrowing story of his life. And Mr. Williams, becomes attached to the said child. Now, naturally, he believes what is said to him. Why would he not believe it? He also has a crumbling relationship with a male. And this male is letting him know that you possibly should leave this situation alone. But Gabriel does not. So eventually, he tries to reach out to the said woman who is allegedly the mother of the child, caretaker of the child, and then he loses contact because he calls the number, excuse me, and she doesn't answer. So he becomes concerned, Gabriel, like, wow, why is she answering his phone? So he then goes out to search for the said family, the child and the mother. And what he discovers on his journey is not nice. It's not nice at all. He ends up having a run-in with a police officer where he gets beat because the lies that were spun about the child leads this officer to beat him out in the middle of nowhere, because the officer thinks that this said guy, Mr. Gabriel, is someone that's coming to harm the child because of the lies that were told by the mother, the caretaker. He's searching for this child, going to area hospitals looking for this said child who allegedly has AIDS, because that is a lie that was spun to him by the mother, because the child was allegedly raped by parents and other cohorts. So here he is searching in a whole nother city for a child, and he can't get said information. Goes to a diner, and he learns that, no one's ever seen the child. He ends up bumping into the said woman, so happened. Same place. She's there. Almost get hit by a Mack truck trying to chase him behind her that night. You see, you don't know people. This man has left the comforts of his home in New York City to travel to find this child and this woman, only to be beaten by a police officer in the said town, because the police officer is working off the lies that were spun to him by the said mother, that there are people after the boy, that there are people who could harm the boy, the said parents of the child who were child offenders, sexual offenders. So when Gabriel comes looking, he's assuming that this guy, Gabriel, is one of those offenders, but he was not. He ends up bypassing the lady at the said restaurant, as I state, running behind her in the middle of the night, almost getting hit by a truck, trying to get information pertaining to the child, breaking into the said house to get information pertaining to the child. The lady has vanished thereafter. You see, the moral of this story is you don't know people. And Gabriel went hunting a ghost, a voice on a phone. No different than a comment on a YouTube channel, a comment in the chat box in a live stream, and an invisible voice on a live stream. And even if the person shows him or herself, what does it mean? Because you don't know them. And I bring this to you because of the things that have transpired, as I state, with my channel and other channels of people infiltrating the chats, pretending to be other people and this and that. And as I told people, you shouldn't use your government names anyway, because anyone could stalk you, harass you. And the only way I had a problem with changing your names is if indeed a person was changing their name or using a said person's name for facetious reasons to, infiltrate panels, to be nasty, rude, spread rumors, lies, be vulgar. But in the end, you don't know people. So a person has a right to change their username if they want, be it Facebook, IG, YouTube. That's your prerogative. But if you indeed are using someone else's name that you know of, have been using their name on YT or other platforms, and you're using it to be facetious and rude and nasty and to deceive people, then that is vile. You see, social media has given many people around the world a way to infiltrate people's personal lives and personal space by harassing them through inboxes, pretending to be something that they are not. And that is why I mentioned this movie, because Gabriel was honestly trying to help a young child. He had connected with him. He believed his story. So when he could not reach him via phone, he went in search for him, flew to a strange city to find this child and this woman. But the gist of the story is that the child never existed, that it was all a ruse, it was all a lie, because this woman was sick and she had sent photos or whatever, pretending to be someone that she was not, and pretending that she was taking care of a sick child when she was not. She was a lonely person who called into a radio station and spun a web about taking care of a sick child with AIDS, when indeed there was no sick child, just a sick woman who was seeking attention for whatever reason. And there are many people out here like this that are using right now social media as a way to get attention, to feel important, to feel validated. But in the end, you're not hurting anybody but yourself, because you're a liar and a thief by making up a name or stealing someone's name. And what is the final result of that? Because eventually someone will find you out and then we'll expose you. And is it worth it? I want most of you who actually care about your own safety and the betterment of yourself to watch The Night Listener, starring Robin Williams and Toni Collette. It is a very good movie, and it shows you that you don't know people. That even if you're talking to someone on the phone, you've never met them, you like what they're saying to you, you don't know them. And you can look a person in the eye every day and listen to what he or she has to say, but you don't know them. You could be dating them, married to them, working with them, a neighbor, and they could spin you all type of webs of this and that and what's going on with them. What they're going through does not mean that it's true. Because you see, you have some very vile and sick people out here who are attention seekers, and they're willing to do whatever they have to do to stay relevant. And if that means that they will lie on you, bash you publicly on a public platform, in the street, emails, letters, any way they can find, then they will do that. And it is sad to say that we live in a world where there are such lonely beings who don't have anything better to do with themselves than to lie and manipulate and scam and pretend to be someone that they are not, make up things about themselves, spin webs and stories. I notice it in the chat. I notice it. Constantly saying the same thing over and over. Asked to seek validation. And I nod my head. But it does not mean I believe you. Because one, I don't know you. And you don't know me. I want you to see this movie. And I want those of you who are sick to see this movie. And maybe you can get a reality check and realize that you have real serious problems and that there's something wrong with you. And you need to see a therapist, a mental physician, someone who can help you. Because there are a lot of you who are very ill and you are vile. And you are this person I'm speaking of in this movie. You are the lady who pretends to be raising a kid who's sickly. You are this person. And you lie and manipulate to get attention and to have people feel sorry for you and spread rumors and lies and make up stories, spin webs to get attention, to get likes on Facebook, IG, TikTok, YouTube. It's all the same. You're unhappy and you are lonely. And the sad part is that there are people following you, thinking you are the chosen one, but you are not. You're just a voice on the phone, such as the lady in the movie. But in real time, because we're on social media, you show yourself. So people believe, oh, he's real, she's real. I can see her, I can see him. They're talking. They said this, they said that. So it must be true. Why would they lie to me? But what did I tell you all? Ask yourself, why not? Because a person speak it doesn't make it so. The Night Listener. Please check it out. Because it is a testament that there are some very vile people out here who do not mean you well. And they will tell you anything. They will lie, steal, manipulate, con, scam you, make up all type of vile things about others, make up stories, spin webs, lies, false truths in order to seem important. They will stalk you, stalk others to seem relevant, and they will break the law to hold the lie. And this is why I always tell you all to stay woke. Everybody is not your friend. Everybody is not your friend. The Night Listener. Take heed. Thanks for joining me. This is Everyday Shenanigans.